Hey everyone, welcome to Comics Now, episode 3. I'm Jordan, and Tom isn't here this week because he's sick, and I've been trying to get him on, but he says he's too sick, so I got a different Tom.
Hello.
So, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Tom Douglas, but for the sake of only having one Tom, we'll just call me Dougy. That's much easier for everyone.
Yeah.
Like everyone else here listening, I'm a big comic book nerd. Started watching, I think I was like 2 years old when the Batman the animated series first came out, and that was my first in, and ever since then, I have not looked back. Batman, I know Batman's everyone's favorite superhero, but Batman was the one that, I think because I was born around the time of Tim Burton's film, animated series, it just went from there. So Batman's always been my favorite hero.
I think that's like that for everyone, though.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, everyone says, "Oh, Batman's everyone's favorite superhero," but there's a reason for Batman being like he's had such amazing writers and artists over the years, and the movies, bar a couple, have always been like pretty good, like quality movies.
Oh, they're all alright.
They've all got their own thing.
Batman and Robin's not too bad.
Oh, it's pretty bad. Pretty certain it's the same. I think last time I watched it, I was listening to the music playing in the background. I'm like, this is the exact same score from Batman Forever, just transferred over in the exact same sort of scene, and that pretty much replicates the same story like same sort of fights. But anyway,
I think that's what they wanted to do. They just wanted to make sure it was, good. So they're like, oh, well, this one worked, kinda.
Yeah, that will literally duplicate it, and just, you know what? I think it needs more camp. Let's make it. I think Adam West. I think we need more Adam West Batman in this. But anyway,
I'm surprised they didn't get like an Adam West cameo in that movie.
That would have been
if they made that movie now, they would have done that.
That would have made it worth watching just for that. I would sit through it, even if it was like the last 10 minutes of the film. He pops up, old chum. I would have like, yeah, totally worth it.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I do like that Joel Schumacher and George Clooney have both publicly apologized.
I know, I saw that recently, and you're just like, wow, I'm glad that they realized how bad that is.
Yeah.
Although, when I was a kid, that was like, I remember seeing that. I think that was like the Batman movie, because like, I'm a bit younger than you, so like, when that came out, I think I was right at the age where it was just like, yeah, Batman, this is what Batman is. And then at the time, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I remember having like toys, and I had like a...
Oh, yeah.
Money box that was the Batmobile from that movie, and I was just like, yeah, this movie's awesome. And then a couple of years later you'll watch it and you go, oh dear God.
Yeah, nostalgia's a wonderful thing, isn't it? And when you're a kid and you don't know what puns are, and then you grow up, and then everything that Arnold Schwarzenegger says in that movie, like, oh God.
Yeah, well at that time it's so much of a kids movie, like.
Yeah,
they're all kind of kids' movies, although like the first one, the Tim Burton one, obviously wasn't. Like,
well, Batman Returns, he straps a bomb to the dude and throws him off a bridge, and he blows up. Like, when you're a kid, you're like, cool, but when you grow up, you're like, Jesus Christ, he just blew up a dude.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that in any of the new ones, would you?
No. Batman would be like, I can't do it. It's against the code.
But then again, like, he does other stuff in other movies like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, in even the newer movies, Dark Knight, he tackles Harvey Dent to death.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, that's right.
And you always overlook that. You're just like, oh, yeah, that's what happens. He was crazy. But, yeah.
It was like, well, I'm going to survive the fall. Maybe he will.
Somehow.
Yeah, it's all that padded armor and stuff.
Yeah, I guess. And being rich. Being rich always helps.
Yeah, because he can afford the doctors, and apparently everyone's oblivious in Gotham.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce Wayne became a recluse, and Batman disappeared the exact same night.
Weird.
Wow.
I bet they had a fight or something.
Yeah, they had a disagreement.
Yeah.
Batman's like, I'm leaving the city.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, back to comics and shit. I started reading comics, I think, actually around the time of The Dark Knight. Because I got the movie like when it was released on DVD and started watching the special features and of that and Tim Burton's Batman. They kept talking like referencing all the comics that we used as references.
Yeah.
For the movie. So I was like, no, like I got to do this. You know, if I'm going to be a proper fan, like I got to go out and
I think I was kind of similar with that because I remember I got like a double pack of Batman Begins and Dark Knight for Christmas or something, and I really wanted it. And then watching it, I was like, oh yeah. And then shortly after, I started reading comics, specifically Batman. So
yeah. Well, my first, because like in both of their, I think it was like both the special features, or at least definitely in Tim Burton's, they just kept bringing it back to the Killing Joke. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go check out this comic. So my first comic I ever got was the Killing Joke, and that was
good one to start with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get started, I mean, because still in my mind, I was like, comics are still sort of like. At the time, I was like, it's still sort of like kiddie.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not really adult. But then when you're reading The Killing Joke, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is not for kids at all.
Yeah, well, it seems like looking back to earlier, like 2000s and earlier comics and stuff, a lot of them, like just the single issue ones are always, seem kind of kiddie. But then you get, like the graphic novel collections of those specific stories that are like, crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that was just my perception of comics at the time. I sort of really had no idea. And then having that, like, having something sort of graphic and brutal. I mean, with the shooting of Barbara Gordon and then the implied rape in the...
I didn't even notice that the first time I read it, but I read like an article recently where they like kind of pointed that out, and I was like, holy shit.
I mean, having Jim Gordon having to sit there listening to his daughter in what we assume, or what we can assume, is rape.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus. And then the whole origins with the Joker as well. How he just had that one bad day and all that. And then at the very end, did he or didn't he?
Yeah.
Did and kill him or not?
Well, I heard an interview with someone. I can't remember who it was. A comic book, some writer, not the guy that did that, but I can't remember, but basically him saying, I'm 99% sure that, yes, he killed him at the end.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, I was debating this, stupidly debating on Facebook, like a comic book page.
There is no point arguing on Facebook.
No, I know.
Everyone loses on Facebook.
That's true, we do. Well, it wasn't, it wasn't so much arguing, just pointing out. I was like, look, it's been one of those things that it's left up to the reader's interpretation. If you think he killed him, then he killed him. But
like the end of Inception. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the end. It's been a while
with the spinny thing.
Oh yeah,
so you kind of have to think: is he in the dream or is he not? But yeah.
Well, a friend of mine pointed out that in an interview with Michael Caine, he said any scene that Michael Caine is in is real.
Oh, yeah.
I think because Michael Caine, he takes the kids away, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
And then that's when Cobb spins his thing.
Yeah. It's been a while since I saw that, actually, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a little reference guide, I guess, if you want. But yeah, apparently any scene that Michael Caine is in, it's not dream, it's real. So, but again,
I'll have to watch it again with that in mind.
Yeah, but I mean, that could be total BS.
Yeah.
Who knows? So yeah, back to comics. I was like you guys were saying. I would consider myself a student of Brian Ford at Freak Show.
Oh yeah.
I would just go into that when it was open. I would just go in and be like, "Hey, I'm hearing about this Green Lantern fella.
Yeah, give me some books.
Yeah, what would you recommend?" He's like, "Well, here you go, here, and then branch off to this and this. So you grab this first, and then that." I'm like, "Yeah, cool, all right."
Well, you really need someone like that when you first get into it because you.
Yeah.
What do you like? Yeah, you don't know where to start.
That's
a scary thing.
I remember that's what I said to Brian. Like when I first started, I was like, "It's just so." There's just so much. Like, where do you begin? He's like, well, you can start here. This is a retold origin story or a redone, whatever. They're redoing it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you can start here, and then it'll branch off to this. And so he was fantastic. It was great having Brian there to guide me through, as it were. It's kind of like when you first get into comics, it's kind of like people who are trying to first get into Doctor Who. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Who, there's 50, 60 years worth. Like, where do you begin?
Yeah. But that's the thing, you don't realize that you can pretty much jump in anywhere and it kind of explains itself.
Yeah, exactly. And then, that's what sort of Brian, when you sift through all the crap, that's what Brian sort of, brought out. That's I guess that's pretty much it. I guess I sort of, my one like defining nerd moment would be, if I had one, would be the first time I saw Avengers, and at the when Thanos makes his presence known, when the dude says, to challenge them, you must court death. Because I'd read the Infinity Gauntlet a year prior to Avengers coming out. I was like, oh my god, it's Thanos! And everyone was like, it's who? It's Phantos. Who's him? Who's that guy? And I remember one guy in his seat was like, oh my god, it's the Red Skull! I was like, no.
That's not red.
And everyone's like, who's Thanos? I'm like, Thanos is... Oh, man, none of you guys... Anyone here? Anyone read? No? Okay. All right. I'll just go talk to Brian tomorrow about it at free.
Well, I was the same. I went and saw that, and at the end I was just like, because I'm pretty sure I'd literally just read, I can't remember what it was, but the first time I'd even heard of Thanos was a month prior to it. I just read something, and I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then it just it seems like my brain just clicked and worked out everything that was going to happen in the movies from then onwards.
Yeah, and I was like, holy crap, we're going to do the Infinity Gauntlet. This is going to be the biggest thing ever. It's going to be amazing, which it's slowly,
it's getting there.
It's becoming. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. I remember when they announced the movie being Ultron for Avengers 2, I was so excited because I just read a bunch of Ultron stories as well. Then at the same time, I'm like, but what about Thanos? What are they going to do there?
When I first saw it, it was like a curveball. I was like, because, when they're like, and Marvel announces Avengers, I was like, Infinity Gauntlet, Age of Ultron. What? Huh? What?
Yeah.
Like, huh?
And I think at that point in time, it was kind of weird because the Age of Ultron comic book just finished, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is really soon.
Are they just going to adapt that straight away?
Yeah. I was the same, but, obviously it's not quite.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Once they announced James Spader was the voice of...
Oh, I know, right?
I was sold.
I saw that and I'm just like, that's perfect.
That man created to me. I'll listen to him talk any day.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll definitely be a good movie. Did you see there was another extended trailer released today?
Yeah, I saw that.
It wasn't much different.
No, it added...
There's a shot of Hawkeye looking at the camera for some reason, and then there's some Ultron dudes flying at you.
Fly out, and
I think that's really pretty much the only difference that I could see.
I saw there was another scene Iron Man flying over a war compound shooting some dudes. But that was really about it.
Yeah, but
I don't want him to give away too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I want to see more, but really, I just want to see the movie.
Yeah. I would like to be surprised when I actually go see the movie.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've realized that I'm so used to getting spoilers and stuff that I'm just used to it.
Yeah. Oh, that was the thing the other day. They announced that I can't remember in front of which movie it's going to be, but they're going to release a teaser for the teaser of Batman vs Superman.
The Hobbit.
Oh,
The Hobbit. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah, because it's one. Yeah. That just made me angry.
Yeah, but at the same time, I want to see it.
Yeah, but just give us a trailer.
Yeah, but in saying that, the movie's still a long way off. That's coming out around the time of Captain America 3, which hasn't even started filming yet.
Yeah, I know. Still, I just hate teasers for trailers.
And they're really teasing Batman vs Superman, but I don't care because I'm excited.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, well, I think I said that last episode with Tom, but I'm optimistic, but I'm kind of worried.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole DC thing is really
I think they're going a very different
Sorry?
I think they're going a very different way than what Marvel's doing, and I think that's what's scaring people.
Well, I don't know. To me, it feels like they're trying to one-up them. They're like, oh, well, all your fans had to wait, a year before they knew what movie they were getting. Yeah? Well, here's our lineup for the next 5-6 years. Yeah. Oh, Sony wants to do a Sinister Six movie? Well, here's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They're trying to one-up everyone, I think.
To me, that's what it feels like. And now it's like, yeah, you guys have all these actors. Well, rumor has it we might have Jared Leto to play the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. That's exciting. What do you reckon about that?
I'm not his biggest fan, but admittedly I haven't seen him in any of his acting roles except for Fight Club.
Yeah. Have you seen Requiem for a Dream?
No.
Watch that. That's essentially him being fucked and crazy the whole movie. So just watch that and you'll be like, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, I don't feel like being depressed today.
Yeah, well, in saying that, don't watch it if you plan on being happy ever. I've seen it twice. Yeah. I've seen it twice, and both times I just wanted to die afterwards. I'm like, this movie is killing me.
What's hard. Like, I know everyone says, oh, it's a fantastic movie. However, go dive into a pool of puppies afterwards.
Yeah. Make sure you've got something to hug you afterwards, because it's just kind of it doesn't end like it ends, but nothing happens. It's just crazy.
Okay, all
but
right.
I think he'll be really good if he ends up doing it. I really hope they go with like a more comic booky makeup thing for him. Like, I hope they don't go with the messy kind of makeup for like Heath Ledger's Joker. I hope they go with something a bit more subtle.
Well, I don't think they can. I think they will have to go for something like that. Because otherwise, it will just do the automatic comparison. Everyone's just copying Heath Ledger's.
Yeah, well, I think like you said, I think before we started about how the Joker's in the comic books has come back with his face and stuff. Well, maybe that looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, they could
just really basic.
Yeah, well, they could do that, or they could do what Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo did with like removing of the face.
That would be, but I heard someone else say it recently. But you don't get someone as pretty as Jared Leto and rip off his face.
Well, that's true, but but then again, maybe we're going to defy all expectations.
Yeah, true. Hey, if they do that would be awesome. I would love it.
It'd be creepy as shit.
Yeah, but they'd have to do so much backstory for it, so I don't think they would.
Well, I don't know. I mean, my thinking is that DC may skip a lot of backstory because we already
I think that too.
We already know that with Batman vs Superman, that Batman's like a veteran.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for 20 plus years or whatever. Which I think, and then introducing going to the Flash and Green Lantern, we may actually get, because people are speculating with who's the actor again that they announced for Flash?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, because he's so young looking that they may actually do Wally West instead of Barry Allen.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, yeah,
that's the same thing. Like I think you were saying before with Green Lantern, if they do Jon Stewart.
Yeah,
like you can't really do Green Lantern without Hal Jordan. Like, he has to exist.
But you got to remember though, just for dudes our age now, growing up, Justice League Unlimited was a huge show for us, and Jon Stewart was our Green Lantern. So there's going to be a big group of people that are aware of Jon Stewart and would be cool with Jon Stewart.
Yeah, well, in saying that, I am cool with it if they do it. That's fine, but I don't know.
I think Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, which I was fine with the casting. I thought he was
casting wise, that movie was pretty good.
Yeah, Mark Strong is Sinestro.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. If to recast that, it's going to be weird.
Yeah, but I think, because obviously, it is a reboot. They're steering away from it. I think Ryan Reynolds' Hal Jordan is still too fresh in moviegoers' minds.
Yeah, but in saying that, it will be 9 years after, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Still a while off. Oh, but also in saying that, Justice League comes before that, and presumably he'll be in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing. The way DC's planned it out doesn't really make sense to me, but I think that's because I'm in the Marvel movie mindset of everything being in the correct order and stuff. The way I see it is that Batman vs Superman is going to be the prequel to Justice League, and then all the solo ones could be like prequels to everything, because like there's rumors of Wonder Woman being set in like the 20s or something. So like,
oh really? I thought it was going to be like set during World War II.
Yeah, well, there was that too. Like it was a rumor that it was going to be like multiple times, which seems weird.
Okay,
but
because if they did the night like set during World War II, that'd be because that was when she was created during World War II to combat the Allied forces and all that, and other supervillains, but primarily as a strong female character to help rally the the American nation and all that behind the war effort. So I would understand if it was set during World War II, although I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just going to jump back and forth, kind of like Man of Steel did.
Yeah, and well, that would make sense if they just went with that. If they go with a Man of Steel kind of template for all the, well, not maybe all of them, but the solo movies, just so that you've got that backstory without having to do a full reboot type backstory. I think that's what they'll have to do for Green Lantern. Is that, like, if they just, like, if it is Hal Jordan anyway, if they just do if they've got him off doing his thing, and then flashback to him getting the ring and going off and learning and shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Which would make sense. But in saying that, like I was saying before, the Justice League movies are in the middle. Presumably all those characters are going to be in there. So, like, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's the whole planning and pacing of it all. Like, again, to me, seems like, well, we got to be different to Marvel. We can't copy what Marvel are doing. So we will. I guess that just leaves us with the jumping back and forth timelines, reintroducing, introducing him here, origin him later, kind of. I mean,
it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
And really, like, at this point, we're speculating 100% because all we've got is Man of Steel, which is what it is.
I still like. I thoroughly enjoyed Man of Steel.
I liked it. But
everyone craps on about the battle scene at the end, but that was intentional.
Yeah, I think, like, from what I've seen, the repercussions of the destruction of Metropolis will be a big thing in the new movie.
That's the whole point. That's the whole, like, because the way I viewed it, because the whole thing of Man of Steel was, he's new. He's like a puppy dog learning to, like, run for the first time. Yeah. He's trying to coordinate his legs and he's still tripping over and all that. That's essentially Man of Steel. He's just learning his powers. He doesn't know his limits.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. If he knew exactly how to do it, it would have been much better. But obviously, like, it's his first big fight. It's the first time he's fought anyone anywhere close to his strength.
Yeah, and like his emotions all like. I mean, if he was in control, he would have thrown Zod into space, and they would have battled it, above the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't have been no issue.
He probably didn't know he could go up there. Like
that's what I mean. The whole like. And I think that's what Batman vs. Superman will be. I think that's why Batman will be there. He'll step in because he'll be like, you're a real danger to this planet. But, like, I can see you're a force for good. Someone needs to rope you in. And I think Batman's going to be his mentor.
Yeah, I think they're going to do kind of like the opposite of Dark Knight Returns. Like, how Superman comes in to kind of stop Batman. I think it's going to be the other way around. Exactly.
It'll be, I think that's exactly what it's going to be. Batman.
And I really hope, that, have you seen that picture floating around at the moment? It's a picture of Captain America and Iron Man doing the big punch thing, like from Dark Knight Returns. I hope we see an exact opposite of that shot in the movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like,
that'd be awesome.
Just as like a wink towards that, because obviously it's going to be an inspiration for the movie, we should say.
Yeah, maybe Cal will give, maybe at the end of Batman vs. Superman, when they finally, the dust settles, they've reconciled their differences and decided to work together, maybe that's when Cal will hand him, like, the Krypton ring.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like I trust you, friend. And he'll be like, whatever.
He'll be like, yes, friend. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, the dynamic between Superman and Batman is the big thing that I'm really interested in for that movie, just because... it's something we haven't seen before in, like, live action movie anyway. And it's only really been touched on in the animated ones, obviously, because they're only short and don't have much time for the development of it or whatever.
That is actually something I will say. DC have got Marvel up over. Is
the
it
animated?
Fantastic?
Oh, it's amazing. I've only seen a few of the. Well, I had only seen a few of the newer ones, and I've just gone back and watched a bunch of them recently, like Public Enemies, Batman Superman Public Enemies. I watched that, and I'm like, this is really cool. Like, such a weird concept, and what was it? I think Doomsday, is that one of them?
Oh yeah, Justice League Doom, where was it? Vandal Savage starts taking out the Justice League.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember, but I remember there's a couple of them that I started watching a while back, and then just never I got busy and didn't watch it or something.
Have you watched Under the Red Hood?
No, that is like.
Oh, dude,
I've got it sitting there ready to watch though. It's the next one.
Under the Red Hood and Justice League and the Flashpoint.
Yeah, Flashpoint was a big one. When I watched that, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, well, Under the Red Hood, like, I would say those are the two best. Flashpoint Paradox and Under the Red Hood.
Did you see Justice League War?
No, I didn't.
I've heard things about that.
And then I just went, because I read the comic and even when with the New 52, even reading that, I was just meh.
Yeah, well, I was reading it like a couple of weeks ago because I'm finally catching up on all of DC, and I was just like I read that, I'm like, oh, this is what that was based off, because I've seen like half of Justice League War, and I'm like, oh, it's better in the comic book. Yeah, like I said, I've only seen half of Justice League War, but it didn't seem very good.
Okay.
I like the idea and the way it's done really well. There's some funny bits in it, whatever, but I don't know.
All right. I'll have to watch it to fully form an opinion.
Yeah, but in saying that, I have a friend who's a big Batman fan, not necessarily a comic book fan, but he really likes Batman. He watched it and he said it was awesome. So,
okay,
who knows? I could just be stupid.
Needed an outsider's opinion.
Yeah, but I guess we'll move on a little bit now. What am I doing? Scrolling around with the wrong computer. Convergence, the new DC event coming next year. You know nothing about it?
That is right. I know. I haven't been keeping up to date in the last couple of years with comics, so fill me in.
Well, from what I know of it, which is not much, apparently it is April next year. I think it's for the month or 2 months. This might not be true, but it's what I heard. They're pretty much stopping all of their comics that are running, all New 52 and stuff is just stopping for that month or something. And then every issue coming out that month is going to be a Convergence book. And essentially it's stories from characters from the old universe. Pre New 52.
Right.
And they're the idea is that Brainiac, I think, is it Brainiac? Where am I looking? Yeah, Brainiac has kidnapped Booster Gold, I think.
Oh, okay.
And this happened in Future's End, I think, where he got Booster Gold from 2 different universes and got them to tell him where Vanishing Point is, which is like a out of universe place where you can just see all the universes and whatever. So essentially, Brainiac goes out and just collects all these different cities and places in the old universes, like he does, and puts them in these domes, and then it's all about the stories that are happening in there. So there was a list of all the things, but I can't find it. But essentially, there's a Nightwing story where it's him and Barbara Gordon stuck in a place, and a bunch of other weird shit's happening, and I just don't know what's happening. I'm kind of scared that they're gonna just scrap the New 52 after it or something, which I really hope they don't, because I really like New 52.
Is this what possibly their way of just rubbing the slate clean?
Yeah,
they did with back in the 80s with Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Well, that's the thing. This is happening on the 30th anniversary of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So,
but I thought that's what the New 52 was. This was it's a clean slate. This is a whole brand new thing.
That's the thing. But there's rumors and stuff on this page I'm looking at now. It's basically a Q&A of FAQ, frequently asked questions about Convergence, and it says there's a bunch of possibilities. It could just end those universes for good, get rid of the old ones for good, or it could end the New 52 and just go back to the old ones. It could combine them into one. You never know.
Here's an idea. How about they just streamline their stories from now on?
Yeah.
So like, here's Nightwing in this universe. Here's well, we want to do this story. Well, it doesn't really fit in with what we're doing now. Well, we'll just create another universe, and it's Nightwing in this universe. Like, oh, okay.
That's the big thing with comics in general at the moment. I heard someone saying the other day that they're spreading their stories too thin. Like they're going just so many different books about the same person or the same group of people.
I know, and that's true. Like that's part of the reason, I guess, why I just keep going back and reading old, or going back and finding old stories instead of keeping what's today. Is because I'm sick of, like the Joker. He keeps coming back. Yeah. Batman just needs to snap and just. Oh yeah. It just needs to happen.
Yeah, well, that's like you said with the Killing Joke. That's kind of what happened there.
Well,
and like Dark Knight Returns, end of that.
Well, that was cool, but again, that's like that's its own story.
Yeah,
that's that's my understanding of the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, and it's completely separate.
Or Strikes Back.
Yeah.
They're their own stories. They're not canon. They're just a good Batman story.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Batman finally just go. You know what? It's not. It's just the Joker. I mean, I know you. Have you read Under the Red Hood?
Yeah.
Cool. So Jason Todd sums it up perfectly when he says, ignoring the graveyards this man has filled. Why is he still alive? And then Batman's like, oh, it'd be too damn easy. I can't go down that path. But then then Jason Todd's like, I'm not talking about the Riddler or Two-Face or Cobblepot. Just him.
Yeah.
Just him. He is the one.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially with comics these days, especially DC, is that because of the New 52, they just found a way to be able to keep telling the same stories over and over again.
Yeah.
Which is a problem with Batman because you kind of have to, because it would make sense if the Joker was just killed off, but then what?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
the Joker is that one guy that he kind of needs to have,
And it's kind of like the same, like Captain America had the same thing with Red Skull and Bucky. But I'm so glad that they brought, Bucky back as the Winter Soldier because he's badass.
Yeah, definitely.
But they did this Ed Brubaker's run with Captain America. Yeah. They killed, during the Civil War, they killed off Captain America. And that was huge. That was like, wow, Cap is dead. But then, so many issues later, it was like, wait, no, actually, see, the gun that was used to kill Captain America, the bullet, it wasn't a bullet. It was this conscious displacement thing. So his body dropped, his conscious left, and now Captain America's technically still alive. His consciousness has been floating around somewhere, fighting its way back. And
see, that's the thing. They always come up with a reason.
Yeah, exactly. There's always some crazy, bizarre reason. So, for a few issues there, you're like, holy shit, Cap is dead. And that was cool. That was exciting because you're like, wow, that's a huge step. Marvel killed off Captain America.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Now with Wolverine, is he gonna stay dead?
No.
Well, that's the thing.
Didn't they just announce a new Wolverine run?
There's a bunch of them, except I don't think it's. I think it's Sabretooth is acting like Wolverine for some reason because of Axis and stuff.
Oh, so it's kind of like Doc Ock and Spider-Man, is it?
Yeah, kind of. I think it's just their... Not in the same... No, it's not like it's Wolverine's body or anything. I think it's just with,
is he just, taking on the mantle?
Yeah, he's... I don't think they're necessarily calling him Wolverine or anything, but I think there's... Yeah, I don't know. There's some sort of... It's not Logan, let's just say that. I think it's something to do with that. But in saying that, you know how Marvel is releasing, all their... have you seen the news about how they keep putting out teasers for old events that they're going to redo?
Yeah, Secret Wars, Days of Future Past, or what they call it, Years of Future Past.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
On the cover of one, the picture they released for one of those, it's got Wolverine front and center. That is him. Obviously he's coming back. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Whether it's a same world thing, different universe.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
It all ends 2015 or something like that. So
yeah, so I don't know what's happening.
Is it like I assume it's like a Convergence thing, like what DC are doing?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. I can't remember who it was, but I remember Marvel said back in 2011 or whatever when DC did their New 52 and all that, Marvel just said, yeah, we're not doing that.
Well, that's what I like, because I got a couple of friends that have been following it, and they're just furious. They're infuriated by this. Like, every time a new teaser is released, they're like, what the F is going on? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, to me, I'm like, I think they're just going to New 52 it.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I wouldn't have a huge problem with that. As long as they don't just redo all the same stories, which is
exactly
what they're saying that, like,
exactly
it seems like they're doing.
Like a New 52 allows, it's like, well, we get to tell the origin story again.
Yeah.
Although they didn't credit to Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, because Court of Owls and Night of that was awesome.
Yeah,
I rate that.
That was the first, one of the first modern comics I read. Like, going back to what we said earlier about Batman movies and stuff getting us into reading Batman. I remember I had my iPad and stuff when New 52 happened, and like Comixology was just kind of taken off.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to buy a shit ton of comics and read them. And yeah, it was around the same time that New 52 and Batman started. I read like the first 5-6 issues, like halfway through Court of Owls and stuff, and I was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like I think it's because I was just like, this is new stuff that I've never even heard of at all.
Yeah. Like they actually introduced a new character, a new order, and all that, and it fitted in perfectly.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was like well accepted too. Like it wasn't a thing where people were like, this is bullshit.
No, exactly. There weren't fans that were like, nah, Batman wouldn't do that, or no, this wouldn't exist in the Batman universe. It actually, you accepted what you were reading.
Yeah,
You're like,
and it makes sense. Like,
yeah. You had no issue saying, you know, this order has been around for 300, 400 years or whatever. You know, yep, that's fine, cool. This is a really well thought out, well written story. Kudos to you guys. Yeah. Well done.
Although, with the whole Court of Owls thing, I don't know why, because it's not very similar, but it reminds me a lot of. Have you ever read Gates of Gotham?
No.
Scott Snyder wrote it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like in probably 2010, maybe a bit before that. It would have been before that, because it's Dick Grayson as Batman, and it's got this whole like, it's all about like Gotham City and like the backstory and the past and all this kind of stuff, and it borrows from that, I think. Yeah,
cool. There you go. Going back to another character that was killed off and then brought back by mysterious methods. Yeah. Batman. When Darkseid shot him with the whatever bullet. I can't remember what it's called. Final Crisis is such a head screw. I know.
I was going to start reading it the other day because I've got it sitting there. I'm like, I can't be bothered.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like reading all the old stuff, but because it is technically out of continuity now, like, I'm like, should I read it?
No, well, there's a lot you need to read before. Like, have you read 52?
No, I've read like 2 issues of that, and I was like, I can't be bothered.
It's really, I strongly recommend it. It's really good. Again, Jeff Johns, and a whole bunch
Jeff Johns is awesome.
And a whole, like, I can't remember all the other writers, but him and a whole bunch of other writers got together, and they were, putting out these comics, every week for 52 weeks.
Yeah.
And it gives you a whole new appreciation for Black Adam.
Yeah.
He is badass.
That was like the redemption, like it making him not a straight up villain, wasn't it? Like,
he's not. He's still a villain, but
he's more of like I think The Rock said it. He's more of an anti-hero these days.
Yeah, exactly. Like you definitely understand his motivations. Kind of like Sinestro.
Oh yeah.
Not to the same, maybe not to the exact same extreme, but you could certainly see Black Adam's and Sinestro's parallels. Yeah,
it's one of those villains where he's not necessarily evil. He's just got a different point of view to everyone else.
Yeah, his view of justice is different to
Magneto.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Not as harmless, not
as crazy.
Yeah, I mean, not as crazy.
Yeah,
but if pushed though, if you prodded and poked that bear long enough, he would be. But anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so Convergence looks interesting, and I'm actually kind of scared. Just because like
Unknown.
it's either going to be like a way to just like bring old versions of characters forward, or it's going to be a complete change. Like I said, it's on the 30th anniversary of Crisis on Infinite Earths, which obviously is a big event back then. So I'm kind of worried it's going to do the opposite, where instead of combining it, like getting everything into smaller amounts of universes, they're just going to explode into more. I don't know.
That could be bad.
Yeah, and another option they said on this website I was reading, they said like maybe it just means that all the New 52 characters are going to have more of a knowledge of their other universe counterparts and stuff, which seems kind of dumb.
That would make it's kind of redundant. Like the whole point of it was start over.
Yeah, and it just kind of makes it so that like they can have the New 52 with their stories, but then still somehow have the other stories in it, and it just seems dumb. Like, I'm sure it'll be interesting to read and whatnot, but I hope they just don't go a bit overboard with it.
Yeah, it sounds like they're juggling a lot, like they're throwing up a lot of balls into the air. And just, seeing where they land. Yeah,
but like I said, it seems like a cool idea, because it's Brainiac collecting all these things, and I think it's in like Action Comics #1 or 2 or something. The most recent, like the New 52 ones, it's got Brainiac, and he had like a city of Krypton or whatever in a jar and stuff, and Superman found it and shit. And like that, I remember reading that and being like, that's kind of cool. I like the idea of this whole thing, so we'll see.
Was it Krypton or Kandor?
I can't remember. It was something like that.
Because he's always had like the city of Kandor.
I think it's definitely something to do with Krypton. Like it was.
Again, I've not been reading.
Yeah, I can't remember. I read it years ago.
Last thing I read was the last thing I stayed up to date with.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I'm finally catching up with DC and stuff. Like I read heaps of new Green Lantern, which is good, until Jeff Johns stopped, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, that's when I stopped. Not because of the new guys. I think I just had my fill of Green Lantern. I will go back and read the new writers. I will read his stuff.
Well, that's another thing with the New 52. Like Green Lantern, that story that Jeff Johns and that was doing kept going, like throughout New 52. Like it didn't stop and start again. It was just there, which is good. I like that.
Yeah, like Blackest Night and all them.
Yeah, because if they had done that, like I'm sure Jeff Johns would have cracked the shits if they was like, yeah, we're ending it and you have to like stop that, and if you want to keep it, you have to write it again. Like imagine that if they just had like a 5 issues of just recap of everything, just so it's in continuity.
And terrible.
Horrible. Yeah, that would be horrible. All right, so moving on. I did want to talk about female superheroes, because I think we both agree that we're not, like, I don't read many solo female superhero books or anything.
Sexist.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's like subtle sexism or something, or maybe I just am not as interested in them. I don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know if there's like, I mean, there's certainly like in the previous years there hasn't been a huge emphasis on exploring female characters other than like Superwoman or Supergirl, Wonder Woman, characters like that. There's been many great supporting female characters.
Yeah.
I mean, look at X-Men, you got Rogue and Storm and Jean Grey and Jubilee, the list goes. Emma Frost, the list goes on. So like, there's definitely been a lot of great supporting female characters, but I mean, again, maybe we're just not looking hard enough for the solo female leads.
Yeah, well, I've been told to read She-Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, like I think it was like in the 80s, or 80s to 90s or something. Apparently, it's really funny. It's very apparently it's really
throughout The Simpsons.
Huh?
She-Hulk versus Leon Sphinx.
I think so, maybe.
He's like, "Ooh, She-Hulk," and he just throws him on the bin and walks away.
I think so. That sounds really familiar, actually. But no, from this, I can't remember when it was, but apparently there's a run like 80s or 90s where it's almost like Deadpool-esque, where she kind of knows she's in a comic book.
Oh, the fourth wall kind of thing.
Like
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah, like I haven't read it. I've just heard it. Heard that that's what it's like, and it makes me really want to read it. But and in saying that, She-Hulk as a supporting character in Avengers and stuff like that, I really enjoyed her character. And like Spider-Woman, just the fact that she's nothing like Spider-Man makes me happy.
Now, is it true? Like, because I've seen all over the net and all that. Are they really doing an Aunt May movie?
I have not clicked on any of those links because I don't want to. I don't want to know the answer to that.
I hope it is just one of those like you click on it, and it's like, you got pawned. And I'm like,
yeah, but there seems to be a lot of those.
Yeah, I know, but like it's really surfacing.
If they did that, it would have to be just like if they did like a romantic comedy starring that character. It's like that's weird.
Or it's like Unknown Origins, like she was a undercover. They could like she could be like the Peggy Carter of the Spider-Man universe.
I very much doubt that though.
In World War II, I was an undercover agent, and I, went behind enemy lines, and you were like, what?
Yeah, no, I can almost see Sony doing that just to try and get some of that money, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so like I was saying, Spider-Woman was one that I was really interested in for a while there. Just because, like, she looks nothing like Spider-Man, and she is nothing like Spider-Man, and pretty much has nothing to do with Spider-Man, yet is a cool-looking character.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I thought, hey, this person's cool other than that, because I can't even remember her doing anything in anything. I just remember her being there.
She just swung around New York. She didn't actually do anything.
Yeah. But yeah, and then recently, I've been reading Miss Marvel, like the new Miss Marvel. Do you know anything about that?
Nah, again, no.
Yeah, no, it's
podcast and I don't read comics.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But no, it's really cool. Like I think they're only like 10 issues into it, but I really love it because it's like a legitimate origin story because it's a new character with new stuff, like new origin and stuff.
Like I got a dose of her origin stuff when I was watching the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes TV series.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a different Miss Marvel to that one, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's what is it? Because it's the original Miss Marvel is now Captain Marvel. So then, and the idea for the new Miss Marvel is it's this girl. Her name is Kamala Khan or something. She's like a Pakistani girl, and she. Yeah, cool last name. But yeah, she basically basically she's Pakistani girl. She has strict parents or whatever. She's like 16 or something, and she sneaks out to this party one night. Goes there and realizes that everyone doesn't like her or whatever. The usual teenage stuff. And then she's leaving or whatever. And then at that point in time there's a Terrigen bomb goes off in the city or whatever, which is the stuff that makes Inhumans turn into Inhumans that can do stuff. And turns out that she's an Inhuman or whatever, and it goes off, and she gets these powers, and she has like this hallucination while it's happening because it's gas that makes her turn into it or whatever. Has this hallucination that some of the Avengers come and like kind of tell her to be good. Because I forgot to mention, but apparently she's like a big fan of the Avengers. Like she goes on about how she does like fan fiction and stuff online and stuff. So it's kind of funny. So she's like a fangirl of the Avengers. I should have said that. And big fan of Miss Marvel, like the original Miss Marvel. So then she, goes out and kind of starts being a hero because she's realized she's got these powers. Like she can shape shift and that's pretty much it. Like she can shrink and grow and all this weird stuff. So then, she goes out and does that, and it's just really cool. Like I said, it's an origin story, and it's kind of like, I think the reason I am interested and kind of identify with it is because I'm a big Avengers fan, and it's like she's a big Avengers fan, so it's like me wanting to be in her shoes, where she's like kind of thrust into that universe, kind of.
Yeah, cool.
It's it's really cool. Definitely worth a read. Like I was reading it on my phone on the bus to work, and then I'm like, I'm gonna keep downloading more of this and spend all of my money on it. And I bought like 6 or 7 issues in one day, and then the next day the next issue came out, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And like, there's a crossover with Wolverine too, like just before he dies, and it's really cool because like she's kind of geeking out over it and being like, oh my god, it's Wolverine, and I like Wolverine, so I would have been the same. And yeah, it's just really cool. I really like it.
All right,
if you have a chance, read it.
I've jotted it down. I will look into it.
Good.
Cool. All right.
Good.
Well, yeah, I guess talking about female characters, one thing I will say DC are doing right is with Arrow and their portrayal of strong female characters in Arrow.
Definitely.
They've done a fantastic job with particularly when the sister Sarah Lance, when she was Black Canary, run around the city. That was in season 2. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, "Oh, this is a cool little, different little take on, the actual Black Canary, because it's supposed to be Laurel."
Yeah.
And now we know.
Yeah.
Spoilers. If you're not up to date with Arrow, turn it off now. Go watch it.
I'm kind of up to date, so it's okay.
Oh well, you've seen the first episode.
I've seen the first couple. I think I've seen the first 3.
Cool. So you know Sarah's dead.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, cool. And now, Laura's all pissy, and she can't drink because she's sober now, and she can't take drugs like she was in the last couple of seasons. So she's resorted to taking, like, she wanted to learn to fight. And she's like, Ollie, teach me. And Ollie's like, no, I can't teach you. This isn't a game. You can't, play this game. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. So she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So she's gone and found a boxing trainer who...
Is it Wildcat? Is that the guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ted Grant.
Which, back to talking about actual comics before, on Crisis on Infinite Earths, that was one of the first, like, actual comics I read. And I remember Wildcat being in that, and me just being like, this guy's cool.
A lot of good Wildcat stuff. Check out, Jeff Johns was writing Justice Society of America.
Yeah.
He's a prominent member in that. He's really cool in that. And you've got Golden Age Flash and Green Lantern. So Jay Garrick Flash.
And what that other guy's name is.
And you got Alan Scott Green Lantern. And Universe 2 Superman from... Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Is in it. And it's awesome. It's so well written. Really, really good stuff. Definitely.
Cool. I'll definitely check that out.
But Ted Grant is teaching Laurel to fight. Because everyone, like, all over the internet, everyone's been like, oh, so she just gets a couple of boxing lessons and all of a sudden she's a vigilante? Well, again, spoiler alert, we found out... I did say I was going to try and keep this spoiler.
It's okay. I'm happy with spoilers.
Okay, well, we found out 6 years ago, because, Ollie was gone 5 years ago. He was kidnapped or whatever. 6 years ago, there was already a vigilante in Starling City running around, beating dudes up with brass knuckles and has a mean left hook. And it's Ted Grant. He was running around as Wildcat, and he had he had his own protege and all that, but it all went to the shit. So, so he's, so we have a vigilante training a future vigilante.
That's good. I like that. That's a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah, and again, it opens the doors up for more, like, they could do more JSA characters if they wanted to.
Exactly.
Which is really cool. I'm really hoping that they do.
Yeah, did you see the picture of Laurel all kitted up as Canary? I like it.
Good. She actually, because I hate, like, since season 1, I've hated Laurel.
Me too.
Wanted her to get socked with an arrow so many times. And
I think that, like, with this whole thing, it's going to make her a better character.
Yeah, I've actually enjoyed her a bit more, like, because she's not, as I said, like, pissy and antsy and all, like she has been in the last, like, couple of seasons. She's actually a tolerant character. She's like, I'm angry, I'm pissed off, and I want to do something about it.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
especially season 2, I really couldn't deal with her.
No, especially with when you had Sarah there as well, it made it even because you're like, Sarah's so cool and badass, and Laurel just doesn't shut up. And she's crying all the time, and you're annoying. Go away.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Awesome. Cool. Most people do.
Yeah, I think that was the idea. I think they wanted to make her really annoying for that, and then to make her better this season.
Yeah. Oh, like again, like I actually, yeah, I don't hate it as much this season, but seeing developing her as they are this season, into the strong female character that she can. Like it's like her first for like before she went and got the boxing lesson, she finds out about this guy that's been beating up his missus because she's a lawyer. Mm-hmm. So she finds out about it, and then she's like, cool, I'm going to find this guy, I'm going to beat him up. She gets her ass handed to her. Like, you see this guy beat the shit out of her, and then that's when she's like, oh, maybe I should go get lessons.
Yeah, which I think is a good idea, because I can imagine they could have done it where they could have just gone, yep, she will go do that. No, she's good at fighting all of a sudden. But I'm glad they're dragging it out, and I hope they don't. No, I hope they drag it out long enough. Yeah.
She still needs some more. Yeah, certainly some more lessons. Definitely.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't end up just being like suddenly as good as Sarah was before. Like,
no, she needs to stumble. She'll need to fall a couple of times. Like
kind of like with Roy in season 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely. She can't certainly just step right in and be like, hey, I am the new Black Canary. I'm better than Sarah ever was. Watch me go. Like, there will be times where she needs to, get knocked down. She needs to lose a fight or two.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I haven't kept up with Arrow. I'm overwhelmed with the Flash at the moment.
Oh, it's fantastic. Flash has been so good. Every episode is just getting better. I want more.
Yeah,
at the end of every episode, on the next episode.
Yeah, like I stopped watching for like a week or two. Like I watched episode 1 when it leaked months ago, and then I watched it again, and then I watched episode 2, and then I think I stopped for 3 and 4, and then just watched them back to back, and then watched was it episode 5 that came out the other day? I think so.
That was like that was a good episode as well, and it was sort of it was like sort of like the filler episode. Yeah. But even still, as a filler episode, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. But going back to episode 4 with Captain Cold, the introduction at the very end of Heatwave. I'm so excited for the Rogues.
And did you hear? I think I saw something on Facebook just before. Apparently, Reverse Flash will be in an episode December 9th.
Yeah, I did see that because there's.
I'm kind of worried about them introducing him that early.
I don't know. Like, I mean, if it's done right.
I hope that. Obviously, they're going to have him as the long-running one, so it'll. Be.
Have you seen that leaked photo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so good.
Looks good. I'm interested. I'm like, it looks good in the same way that Flash's costume looks good, where it's good, but it's not perfect.
My personal opinion is that it looks better. I'm not. Yeah. I'm warming up to the Flash costume, but I was kind of hoping in the episode just gone when she destroyed the Flash costume.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd go for a better one afterwards.
Yeah, I was really hoping. I was like, all right, yes, here it is. Here we get the new costume, and then Cisco had a couple back.
Season 2, they'll have a slightly changed one, and then season 3, they'll have a slightly changed one.
Exactly. My overall hope for Flash is that they build it up to like the Flashpoint paradox.
Oh yeah, well that has to be what it is. Like with that whole newspaper teaser in episode 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has to be. Look, it could just be a cool little Easter egg for us, but I would love to see because this way they could get a Batman on TV that's totally different. Like you'd have him, but it's a different Batman. It doesn't conflict with the the movie and all that because otherwise everyone's going to be like, hang on, how come Batman in the movie only uses his fist, but the Batman in this TV show is Thomas Wayne and is running around shooting people.
Yeah, it would be cool. Although, have you heard the rumors about whoever David Goyer or whatever said? I think maybe that there's a possibility of the TV universe and the movie universe crossing over. I think if they did that, it would be with the Flash time travel type thing, you know?
Really? Because I thought like they were adamant that they were like, no, TV and movie are separate.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They've said they're separate, but there's always a possibility for a crossover in terms of multiverse stuff.
So he's just throwing that. So he's essentially just throwing that out there.
I think he's just throwing it out there to make people be like, "Ooh, cool!" But
yeah,
hey, like it's always possible. Like I said, with time travel from the Flash, which is obviously going to happen at some point. All that kind of stuff.
Cosmic treadmill.
Yeah, like such an Easter egg. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, I know. Again, my missus is like, it's just a treadmill. I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah. It is much more than just a treadmill.
Right now, it's just a treadmill, but when it goes fast enough...
Yeah, exactly. Just you wait.
Yeah, but I'm definitely interested in The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the old series?
No.
The 90s one?
No, I haven't. Seen the photos, but I've not actually watched.
Watch it. I'm like halfway through it, and then I lost track of what episode I was on and never went back to it. But it's awesome. Oh. Mark Hamill's in it.
Okay. I did see. Yeah. I remember checking it out on IMDb one day and seeing Mark. So just for that alone.
Yeah, at least watch the Mark Hamill episodes. It's funny. Like, it's corny 90s TV with terrible effects, and like really it kind of lends itself to the like 66 Batman. Like, there's a whole heap of really corny things, but at the same time it's actually a good show. Like, me and one of my friends sat down and watched like 20 episodes straight, and we were just like, this is awesome.
Awesome, like awesome, or awesomely bad awesome?
A bit of both, actually. Like, it's good, but then it goes kind of like, yeah, there's a few episodes you're like, this is lame. But it's cool. Like, you watch the first episode, like the pilot for it, and it's like a double episode, like almost an hour and a half long. Like, it's good. And then, cool. Yeah, it's cool. And it's funny watching The Flash now and kind of seeing some of the Easter eggs that go back to it.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny because like in the
new Flash, his dad is the old Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently the chick from the old series that worked at Star Labs is going to be in the new one as the same character.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just
That's
like
cool.
Obviously older and stuff, but it's cool because the old one you see they touch on a lot of stupid like stuff that they don't need to touch on now, like the whole thing with his like speeded up metabolism. Like, there's a whole episode about the fact that he has to eat heaps, and they always show him eating heaps. Whereas in the new one, they just don't mention it. It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
just throw out a scientific term and all that, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, like it's the new one seems to be more catered to a smarter audience that knows. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously, I think the old one
and get drunk.
Yeah, I think the old one was obviously marketed towards more everyone being like, this is this character, you have to learn about him. Whereas I think now they kind of assume that people kind of know. At least a little bit. And if they don't, they'll look it up.
Yeah. Yes. Google will be the savior of us all.
Yes, exactly. But, yeah, anyways, we were talking about female superheroes for a little bit there.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. Bring it back to the strong female types. What did we talk about before? Oh, we should probably touch on the Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
We did sort of talk about that. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm happy with the casting and all that. I mean, I've never actually seen her in anything, but I think she looks the part. And people tend to forget that there are such things as weight gaining and personal trainers.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, oh, she's too skinny. She can't be Wonder Woman. But she's filled out. Like, she's... Yeah.
Like, she's fit. Like, she's not like a weak looking person.
No, she's not olive oil from Popeye.
Yeah.
She actually looks strong. And like, when they released that, what was it? Was it a Comic-Con or something?
Yeah,
where they
I think so.
Photo of her?
In costume and stuff.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this is.
It looks good.
She looks pretty badass. But yeah, if they do, because I mean, we saw. Like, has it been confirmed the setting of the movie, or is it?
Nothing's been set yet, confirmed yet about it. Really, I don't think.
Because I know, like, there's the rumors going around to be set in the 20s or to be set in the 40s during World War II. Which, I mean, if they do it during the 40s, that's cool because that pays homage to, I mean, because she was created during World War II.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that seeing her, I guess they could kind of do like Captain America, maybe like the first Avenger, the first Captain America movie. They could kind of do that with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that would work. I really enjoyed the first Captain America movie.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoyed the World War II movie as much as anyone. So I they could do it. Could work if they go down that path.
Yeah, well, we'll see when we get there. It is a while off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like all these DC movies are still so far away.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The first one, being Batman vs Superman, is still over a year away, isn't it?
2016.
Yeah, so it's
So you're right. Yeah, well over a year.
Which is crazy because it's like it's finished filming and stuff, isn't it? Or no, they're halfway through filming it or something. They've done a huge chunk of it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of like effects or something if they're going to have that much time to like for post production.
Well, it seems to be deliberately stalling because I mean, it was originally going to release the same day as Cap 3.
Yeah,
and then not Marvel, DC buckled, didn't they? Weren't they like, oh god?
Remember. I think it might have been both even. I can't remember.
I thought Marvel kept the date. I thought Marvel just went, we're releasing.
I'm pretty sure Marvel kept the date.
Yeah, DC were like, okay,
DC brought it forward, didn't they? I thought they brought it forward.
Oh,
I can't remember.
They probably should.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Their movie out first, so they should bring it out first.
Imagine if those movies came out on the same day, like it's Batman vs Superman and Captain America versus Iron Man on the same day.
That would have been historic. That would have been awesome. I
would have watched them one after each other.
Yeah, exactly. I totally had the.
I would have spent the whole day at the movies. I would have watched one and then the other and then the first one again and then the second one again.
Well, I was definitely going to do, after seeing Winter Soldier, I was definitely like, I mean, I'm a big Batman fan, but I'll do Captain America first. Yeah. I don't care what it is. And now that we know it's Civil War,
oh my God, it's going to be interesting.
Well, another thing, like something with Civil War, because they're doing like Netflix are doing Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. And
I can't wait for Iron Fist.
I can't wait for Daredevil.
Yeah, well, that too.
So good. But they were talking because Jeff Loeb was on the panel, and someone asked him in the audience, is this universe connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And he didn't say much, except he just went, it's all connected.
Yeah.
And he just left it at that. He didn't say anything else. So, my hope is with Civil War, because Luke Cage and Iron Fist were like captains generals.
Yeah.
Like, during Civil War, like they played big parts.
Well, yeah, that's the thing in like the timeline of everything. Does like Daredevil's coming out fairly soon? I know that. And with Netflix, are they just dumping the series? Like, are they doing the whole thing at once, like they usually do with this kind of thing? I'm pretty sure that's what. The whole series all at once.
The whole season ready to go.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
definitely. Do that.
That's what they did with like Arrested Development. Was it Arrested Development? Yeah, the Netflix season of that. They just dumped the whole thing in one day or over 2 days or something. But
and he just that's right. They did too. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they do that with Daredevil, and just dump the whole thing, that'll be awesome. And then like
the whole thing.
Basically, like I don't think. Yeah, obviously all 4 seasons, series that they want to do isn't going to be out by then, but
no.
But then going to Infinity War down the track, they did say that it's going to be a full-on crossover. So that's Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do the Netflix guys as well.
Well, that's my hope.
Yeah,
is that they do bring him in.
It would make sense because like Daredevil and that were a big part in the Infinity crossover recently. So.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I hope that happens. I'm really excited for those Netflix shows. I'm going to have to get Netflix.
And then there's another one, and I feel really bad that I'd forgotten this character, given that the main topic is strong female characters. But
Jessica Jones.
That's it.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, that's the one.
A character who the only thing I know about her is that she had sex with Luke Cage. That's
All
it.
right.
That's all I know.
Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen Luke Cage?
Yes, I have. How did he not break her? Anyway.
I don't know. Obviously, she's a strong character. She gets her own show.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I don't know. What's next? Host?
I don't know. I think we've been going for a long time, so we should probably end it fairly soon. So
All right.
What I want to do is I want to quickly go over some recent comic releases. Where are they? So we've got... Have you seen any of... obviously you watch Arrow. Have you seen any of the Arrow Season 2.5 comics?
I've seen them on the shelf.
I actually... At first I didn't want to have anything to do with them, but I'm really tempted to read them. Because apparently it's it's set between Season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Because obviously, episode 1 of Arrow season 3, it's a big skip forward. There's a lot of stuff that's obviously happened in between. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely interested in that. Because issue 2 came out this week.
Yeah.
Which I'm thinking I'm going to get into that. And there's the Flash season 0 or whatever as well, which is set between.
Oh, okay.
I think it's set between episode 1 and episode 2. But
okay.
But it feels like it's just going to ruin it for me because it's going to add all these characters that they will not then get to use on TV. I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I kind of like my comics. Like people just wait for a whole season of something to come out to just read it all.
Yeah,
just watch it all. That's what I'm like with comics. I just wait for
it to
come out and then I just read it all because I can't. I struggle to keep up with the monthly issues.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I
lazy, but
I usually get them 4 or 5 issues at a time at least.
Yeah. I can't just read one issue.
Yeah, I have what was it? What was the last one? With Original Sin when that first started, I read the first issue and I'm like, I need more. I need more. I need more. But then there's no more. But
yeah, exactly. It's just fun.
Yeah. Also, in a similar thing to do with the Arrow one, there's have you seen or read any of Smallville season 11?
No,
it's just
no. I didn't even get into Smallville.
Yeah, I did a little bit towards the start, but then I dropped off when it got shit. But they've got all these.
That's the most common thing I hear about the show.
Yeah, it just gets shit towards the end because they add too many stupid characters that don't suit that universe. Just seems weird, but yeah, season 11 is a comic book for that, and yeah, that's out, and I kind of want to read it just to see if it's any good, but I don't know if anyone's listening that has read that. Let me know if it's any good. But Smallville is something I do want to go back and watch. I know it, like I said, it is a bit shit, but still, I still want it.
All right,
but then
I guess I should.
Yeah, it's worth watching, I guess. What week is it? That's next week. I'm looking at the wrong week on here for Marvel, I think. Oh no, or is that this? I don't know. Oh no, that's this week. Did you know much about Axis, the event for Marvel? Apparently, I've only read a couple issues, but apparently in repercussions to it, it kind of changes a bunch of people's personalities. For example, there's a book called Axis Carnage, where Carnage tries to be a hero, but really is bad at it. It just accidentally kills people and does stupid shit. Issue 2 of that came out this week. So I want to read that. I think that's worth reading because I think it'll be really funny. It's got a parental advisory thing on the front, so it's obviously pretty gory.
It's a good sign.
And along with that, we got Superior Iron Man, which apparently Tony Stark is just an asshole now and wants to do shit. And
do we know who's writing it? Because is this following Superior Spider-Man?
It's in the same idea of that. It's a
yeah.
Well, wait, I'll just see if I can find. I can't even find the picture of it.
I got a friend. I hope I want him to listen. I want him to get on this blog one day. On this podcast one day because he hates. He's a mad Spider-Man fan, and he hates Dan Slott and what he's done with Superior Spider-Man.
Superior Spider-Man was good. I liked it.
He hates him so much that Dan Slott has taken notice on like Twitter and stuff because he's drawn pictures and stuff, and Dan Slott's like retweeted his pictures, and he's like, "Oh, if you're gonna draw me, you know, I'm actually a bit fatter, or I don't have as much hair, or blah blah."
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
he's actually gotten on Dan Slott's radar. So Pete, if you're listening to this, I want you on the show.
I want to talk shit. I want to talk shit with him then. But yeah, I can't find that.
I want this episode to happen. You know, the pros and cons of Superior Spider-Man.
All right, let's do it.
I want you to duke it out.
All right, we'll do that. We'll get like a round table of people and talk about it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I can't find I don't know why, but I can't find the thing with Superior Iron Man. But yeah, essentially Iron Man's just a douche. He's got this weird new silver suit with like a face hole, so his face is on it and stuff.
Very, very futuristic.
Yeah, it looks really weird. It kind of looks like the Vision, like a silver version of the Vision with Tony Stark's face and some hair. But it looks interesting.
The Vision.
Yeah, we've got Death of Wolverine Weapon X program, which I have no idea about. I'm assuming it's just like a a redo of all the Weapon X stuff. But I definitely want to look at it. Was it Spider-Verse is in full swing? Well, getting started anyway, which is interesting. Every Spider-Man ever. I think it'll just be a really confusing read.
Which one's talking?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I read the Edge of Spider-Verse ones where they introduce a few other characters, and there's some cool ones there.
Yeah.
What else have we got? There's some weird books. Like I'm just looking at all the books that are coming out, and there's books that I didn't even know were like out. Like there's an Elektra book at the moment.
That would just be capitalizing on, trying to capitalize on the movie, wouldn't it?
Oh, not even. It's a shit movie. But, yeah, like it's only like it's only like 8 issues in as well. Like it's weird.
Yeah, so I would have started. Yeah, like 2 months ago when like the DVD, because the DVD's been out for a couple.
Yeah, I don't know. But and then there's, like I said, Miss Marvel issue 10 is out this week, so that's cool. Like I said, definitely give that a read.
Yeah, I'm down. If this podcast has taught me anything today, it's that I need to get back into reading comics.
Oh yeah, that's the idea. That's what I want this podcast to do. It's to inspire not only myself but other people to read a bit more, and I have been, which is good.
Incredibly not current.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Where is? I've lost track of all my tabs on Chrome here. What am I looking at? Next week from DC, we got Batman 66 meets the Green Hornet, number 6.
Oh, cool.
That's Alex Ross covers on those.
Yeah, those covers look awesome. I love them. They look so good.
I remember I saw the first one. I was just like, I want these on my walls, and that was before I even knew much about Alex Ross. And then I was just like, oh god, I want everything.
I've given that man so much money. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know, right? And yeah, what else have we got? Really, there's nothing too special coming from DC at the moment. They've got this whole multiversity thing, which I have no idea about. It just seems like they're just kind of, like we said earlier with Convergence and stuff, exploring all the old stuff.
Okay.
Which is weird, but...
sorry, going back to Marvel and, strong females.
Yeah.
Has the female Thor started?
Yes. Actually, I forgot to mention that. That's issue 2 comes out this week, I think.
All right, cool.
Or next week.
All right, I'll go check it because I'm interested.
Yeah.
In the female Thor.
That'll be a good thing to jump onto, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's I actually all along was like, that's a pretty cool idea. Thor's no longer worthy, and someone else who is, it just so happens to be female. Like, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting thing, and obviously at the end of it, the real Thor will get his hammer back at some point, but
sure he will.
And then they'll find another way for this female person to keep her powers in some capacity. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. But yeah, I definitely want to get onto that. And yeah, that's pretty much all of note from the releases, really. There's a bunch of, like I said, a bunch of books I didn't even know were being released. Like there's a Daredevil series at the moment, which I didn't know existed. That's 10 issues in. There's a Moon Knight one, which will be interesting.
Oh yeah.
There's a new book called Hulk, which is weird because that's the thing I've noticed with a lot of these releases. Like, there's a lot of the same book being re-released like a year later. Like the current Fantastic Four is up to like 13. It started this year, and last year there was one that started and finished as well. Like,
Right.
instead of just going all the way through, they're just resetting the numbers and having a new like volume. You know?
Well, what I've read, and this is all to do with the movie rights, is the whole reason that Marvel, because they killed off Johnny Storm, didn't they?
I think so. I know they did, and then I know they did, but then they brought him back, and then they killed him off again or something.
Yeah, like they keep doing that, and they keep cancelling runs of certain X-Men runs, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. Is so they can't give these studios
any ideas.
Yeah, any ideas? Yeah, exactly. They're literally like that's. They're trying to like stall these movie studios or trying to force them into like sell them back the rights because they don't want to give them anything like any good material, which is why they're no longer introducing new characters in Fantastic Four or X-Men or anything like that.
Which is kind of what they have to do. Like if you're in Marvel shoes, you wouldn't do anything different. Yeah,
but I think with the Fantastic Four movie, I think they're retaliating because in everything I've seen so far. And all like this during the week, how they announced Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, he's going to be different.
He's going to have a completely different name, and he's going to be a blogger, and his blogger's name is going to be Doom. And then all the other cast members are like, "Oh yeah, we're totally like taking out like these characters in a whole new different direction, give him a whole new origins. Yeah. It's not going to be like anything you've ever read before." But to me, the way I read it is, it's going to be a movie called Fantastic Four.
With similar characters.
Yeah, but it won't resemble anything that we know. Like it'll just be a film about four superpowered individuals, and they just happen to be called the Fantastic Four. Yeah. But it won't resemble anything we've seen or read or heard before. Yeah. And to me, that's Fox saying, "Well, Marvel, you don't want to give us, any new material? Well, guess what? This isn't our property. This is your property. So we're gonna do whatever we want to. If you're willing, if you're happy for us to, shame your characters as such, so be it."
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm definitely interested in that movie. It looks, I want to say good, but not. I'm gonna go in there and forget that I know anything about comics. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I don't think I'll pay to see that one. I mean, we see a trailer, see actual screen footage or any photos, whatever. I leave this one alone.
That's the thing. I don't want to pay for it, but at the same time, I want to see it to see how bad it is.
Well, I mean, look, we could be pleasantly surprised. Like, you know what? This is way better than any of the comics. Yeah. I mean, they certainly can't do. I mean, knock on wood, they certainly can't do any worse than the two previous films.
Yeah, I hope not anyway. I hope they don't destroy Galactus again.
Let's just forget that.
I know, right? Yeah. Anyways, I think we should probably wrap it up. This is my longest episode so far.
All right, cool.
Every episode seems to be about 10 minutes longer than the previous one, so in a couple of weeks we'll be up to like 3-hour episodes, and that'll be exciting.
Then you can split them in half and it'll be part 1, part 2.
And then it's less work for me. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, thanks for coming on and taking the Tom spot of the episode. Right. I'll definitely have you on again.
Sweet. I'll try not to waffle on as much this time, and I'll be slightly more informed.
No, that's all right. Yeah, like I said, read Miss Marvel. Just read more.
I'll check out Miss Marvel and Female Thor.
Yeah, definitely. Remind me to get Female Thor.
And Carnage.
Yeah.
I want to see
that too, actually. But yeah, all right, let's end it.
Cool, all right. Peace, all.
Yeah. What do I usually say at this point? If you like the show or whatever, get on iTunes and leave a review.
Spread the word.
Yeah, tell your friends. That's a big thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Get as many people listening to this as you can, because then I'll do more of it.
Yeah. Please allow us to do more.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. But all right, let's end it here.
All right.
Goodbye.
So long.
Later.